What is going on, guys? Welcome in to episode number 38 of The Scope. That is not Buff, if you guys didn't notice. To my right, your left, I'm joined by a special guest. Buff is out today, taking care of some business, some family stuff. We miss him very much. He did allow us to go live on his channel, so if you came to see Buff and you're looking at my ugly face, I'm really sorry. But I think we're going to have a lot of fun today. Again, to my left, your right. This guy, he's a 10-year-old Warzone sensation. This kid is a prodigy. Like something like over 4,000 followers over on Twitch and over 1,000 subs on YouTube. This guy, he's the future of Warzone and content creation. We're going to chat with him a little bit about what he hopes. It's going to be an interesting perspective because you always hear me and Buff on here, bunch of old boomers talking about stuff from old boomer mentality standpoint. This time we're going to get a little bit of insight from the younger generation. It should be a lot of fun. We're going to talk about some Warzone 2 with Beastmode Boone. All of his links and stuff are down in the description wherever you're watching, listening, wherever you're at. It's down there below where you can check that out. And I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Yeah, we're live on a bunch of different channels. So again, the chat is combined on the screen. Keep an eye out on that on the screen. We're going to chat with Boone for a little bit. And then when we get into the news, we're going to swap him out and we're going to chat with his dad, the Hillbilly Man, a little bit. Really, really good friend of mine. And we're just going to have a good time and talk about some news and stuff like that. So it's good to see everybody. Thank you guys for being here. And it should be a lot of fun. First off, Boone, how you doing, man?
Amazing. I'm very, very excited to be on the show.
Man, I'm glad to have you. It's really going to be cool to get a different take, because everybody hears my boomer takes and me and Buff's boomer takes all the time. So it'll be pretty cool. So yeah, you got a chance to play the Modern Warfare 2 beta, right?
Yeah.
What were your thoughts on that? Like how would you rate it out of 10?
There's some things that they could tweak that will actually change your mindset of playing. But overall, decent 7.
A 7?
7.5.
All right, that's pretty good. Where were you at? What do you think you'd like to see changed? Did you like the movement and stuff?
Yeah, the coolest different thing was definitely the diving. That really changes like the way that you play, because you'll be seeing people that are diving through windows, doing so many different things, and the slide canceling, it makes the whole game slower. It's like you're actually almost there, like more like you're there, instead of you like slide canceling, regaining your sprint, and breaking your controller.
Right, breaking all the what. I don't even know what button is slide cancel on controller. Like you're wearing out which
usually for me it's circle.
Circle. So you're wearing out the circle button all the time. That actually surprises me, because I know whenever you and I play Warzone together, I cannot keep up with you on the map because you're slide canceling way better and faster than me. So I'm surprised to see that you like the movement slow down a little bit. That's really cool. I figured you'd want it faster because your reflexes are much better than mine. So yeah, and you guys can even see in the background playing some of his gameplay from one of his last streams. So the kid's really good. He's really good at video games. So so you've played Warzone with some of the greatest, right? Like you've played with Breadman, you've played with Iron. I mean, the list goes on with some of the top Warzone pros you played with. So let's talk a little bit about Warzone 2. How do you feel? I think it sounds like, from what I've heard, loadouts are going to come later.
Yeah.
But how do you feel about loadouts being a little bit harder to get?
It's different. I'll say that. It's like it's almost like you have to find your guns instead of actually dropping in, knowing that you have a buy station right there where you're landing, getting all the money, and then buying your loadout for your whole team. This time, you have to make sure that there's like a crate or something like that, from what I saw. And you have to find it with enough money. Some of the guns are like 15,000, like crazy for one gun. Instead of 2 guns for 4 people, that'd be 2, 4, 6, 8 guns.
Yep. So you
So
like that because right now, like how Warzone is, right? You have to like everybody's just it's like a race the first to get the loadout. You like having to loot around the map a little bit more.
yeah, I've always liked trying different guns off the ground, and yeah, it's always just been like the mindset of thinking, am I going to get this gun out of this crate, or am I going to find this off the ground, or with a key card, can I get it?
Yep,
It's
that's
just it's like a 50-50 chance. You're just like, do I get it this time? Do I get lucky?
right, and it makes the
Instead of a
gameplay
guarantee.
different, right? Like instead of everybody using the same two meta guns all the time. I've
Yeah,
seen that in your gameplay. You like to switch it up, play with
yeah,
different weird guns sometimes. That's pretty cool. Did you get to see any of the videos of the gameplay from like the COD Next event, or you played part of the map, on the ground war in the beta, right? What'd you think of the
yeah.
maps, like the chunks of maps we got to see?
That was amazing. Is awesome. It looks like it's going to play super duper duper smooth from what I was playing, because I only got to play individual small chunks of the map. But just like in the COD Next thing, they explained it perfectly. I mean, it's literally the same. I mean, it's awesome.
Yep. So you
It,
liked ground war and all that stuff too.
yeah. I mean, you have like little things you can go through. The one thing I hope that there is not tanks. No, not with those.
What do you think of the AI bots that are going to be in Warzone 2? That's going
No,
to be a little weird.
no.
You don't like it?
Mm-mm.
I
I
don't
was
like it either.
watching. I was watching Isaac's gameplay whenever he was playing with in the COD Next thing, and he popped a UAV. Literally, I'm not making this up. There were like 13 AI and 2 people whenever he popped his UAV.
Yeah.
And then I looked at it, I was like, wow, this is going to be so much different. And what what Isaac thinks and what I think is they're doing this to be like, okay, you didn't get this many real kills, but you got this many AI kills. So you still get some credit for it.
So you
I
still
think
feel
that's what
like
they're
you did
trying to do.
something. I gotcha.
Yeah.
Like give
And
everybody a trophy kind of
yeah,
thing.
make sure everybody feels happy per game, because they've been seeing people getting low kill games and just trying to get better overall, and they want to change that by adding AI. It's not good though.
Yep, I'm with you.
It's
I always felt
not
like
smart.
the two outcomes when you fight AI are you either kill them and then it's like whatever, I killed a bot, you really don't feel that cool, or you die to them and you're like upset.
I'm
And
you're
then
like, I don't even know how I died to these AI. They're not even real people. They're like remote controlled AI.
yep. And then I remember in the beta too, playing that invasion mode, like a lot of times you'd shoot a bunch of AI and run out of stuff. You'd run out of bullets on the AI, and then a real person
Yeah,
would come by and you'd die because you're out of bullets from shooting a bot. So yeah,
yeah,
I'm not a huge
and
fan.
it's a waste of ammo, because you're going to be pushing a building. You're going to see a whole bunch of AI just camping on the loot. You're going to make an insane flank, and you're going to realize, oh, I didn't even have to do that. I could have just shot them. It's like, just dived in there, shot them all, and they would not have even hurt me. I could have got the loot. I did not have to waste some of the battery in my controller just trying to wrap around this building and get to the AI,
Yep.
because you think
Yep.
that they're real people.
Did you see the mechanic in Warzone 2 where the circles split up at the end? Did you see that?
Yeah,
What do you think of that?
I think that is awesome, because you can clear out one circle, and then if you're like trying to get as many kills as you possibly can, you can go to the most populated circle. At that point, if you have stims and a gas mask, boom, you just full send straight into the next one. And you're in a gunfight. If you clear that out, you have to go to the next circle, or you could just stay there. And then it'll close again, and then you're fighting that.
Yeah.
And it's just like a rotation of just constant action.
I think it's pretty cool. That
Yeah.
they did something different. That's one of the things they did different We'll see. It seems like a lot of the stuff that they are doing in DMZ in Warzone 2 is coming from DMZ, which we're going to talk about a little bit later. If you guys are just joining us, Buff is out this week. I have a lot of stuff, personal stuff going on later on this week too. So we decided to do an episode today with a good friend of mine, Beastmode Boone, and then his dad's going to join me a little bit later to talk about a lot of the news and stuff from the week in the FPS genre. But yeah, we're just talking a little bit about Warzone and what we want to see and what we think we saw so far in the beta. Did you like the Gunsmith 2.0, like how you leveled up the platforms and stuff like that?
Love that. That is awesome. I think that is great because you could do that IRL. You could see which slot fits into your gun. If it does, you have all those extra attachments. So you don't have to work so hard to earn the attachments. You get the gun, you use the gun that you already have that is fully leveled up, and then you put those attachments onto another gun. And then boom, you have that loadout. You can just, whatever loadout, whatever gun, put all the attachments on, boom. I mean, you have the meta build or whatever for multiplayer.
Yep.
And I really like that.
Do you remember your favorite gun from the beta?
MP5 was definitely the meta. You were just shredding.
Yeah. Nice. Then as far as have you heard much about DMZ? Like what do you think that's going to be like?
I've not heard anything about DMZ yet.
I gotcha. Yeah, it's kind of like a big mystery. How do you feel? This is a big one because I know your favorite mode to play, similar to mine. You like Rebirth, right? You like the Resurgence game mode. What do you think of them? It's going to be
different not having that for sure.
Yeah, I was going to say, what do you think of them taking that out when Warzone 2 launches?
Not a good idea. It's not a good idea.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, everybody hates the VR because it's literally multiplayer, but you have plates on a bigger map. That's pretty much what that is.
Yep. And so
it's like Ground War, but you can get your own UAV. You could get anything you need. It's just like Ground War, pretty much.
Do you think they're gonna do anything like that? You think they'll have Resurgence on the big map, or do you think are you hoping for some like new littler maps for Resurgence mode eventually?
Yeah. I mean, they added Fortune's Keep. That was a big hit. But yeah, some people said it's not for them, and that's some people with Rebirth. I mean, you have your own play style. And, well, if I were working for Warzone, I've said this a lot, they should do what the people want. Instead of having their own ideas, do what the actual people want to see, hear, have, play, instead of having their ideas forward.
Right. I think a lot of them, I don't know if you know much about this stuff, but it feels like a lot of the decisions they make are to keep players playing the game. So they do, like data wise, not for what people like feel like is fun. So that's where the skill-based matchmaking and all that stuff comes from. It's like they have a bunch of data and metrics to make game balance changes to keep you playing.
Yeah, they want to add normal stuff, but then they want to be lazy and just make like a really cool clip. Be like, we're going to make this. Come play it, and then raise it all up for it to all go back down. That's what they're doing. I mean, they're willing to put another game mode in, and they're just being lazy about it. They're not actually making it good. They're just saying that to make more people play and have skill-based matchmaking higher for a little while. Have more people playing the game. And buying all the new packs and all the guns. They make good guns. They buff guns. Put them in the store. Whenever everybody buys them, they nerf it.
Yeah. Guys, even a 10-year-old can see what they release overpowered blueprints to get you to buy them. That's funny.
Like they'll make a meta build with cool tracers, all gold, looks like just like the atomic or something. Buy it, nerfed next day, easily.
Yep, pretty much. So yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Is there anything else you can think of about Warzone 2 that you're excited for? Other than just getting in there?
I'm excited to see how people play the game. I want to see everybody else's like strategies on where to go, what the circle's going to do, and how they're going to play that out. I want to see other people's perspective. I know my perspective already. I know what I'm going to do, but I don't know what everybody else is going to do.
Right.
After I know what everybody else does and the meta stuff, like all the meta movement, then I'll have more of like an idea on what to do and how to push, how to play so everybody else. And I'm excited to see how people actually start to play the game. I hope people don't sit in corners like they do in Rebirth all the time.
Yeah.
I hope that they make it more interesting and have other stuff. And one thing that confused me, the decoy grenades.
Like the inflatable. Oh no, the decoy nades now, or the inflatable deal.
In
the new one. Okay, that was actually my next question. So there's a lot of new gadgets, right? So like, are there any that you're looking forward to using? And I'm thinking of that decoy grenade, the camera. What else? The shock stick. Are there any of those new tacticals or gadgets that you're like excited to try out?
Yeah, I'm really excited to use like the cameras because in multiplayer it's perfect. You could have the bag right on your right in your spawn. Boom, throw the camera. It'll make like a little noise, and then you hear that. You check your camera, you can see there's a guy there holding the bag. You know what to do. You know where to go. You know where he's going.
Yep, exactly.
And the shock sticks, they're just they're almost just like there to be thrown at a wall.
Oh yeah,
and just looked at like the electric and be like, oh wow, that's so cool.
The drill charges might be cool for people camping too.
Yeah.
Through a wall.
Yeah.
That might help the corner problem.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think if there's anything else going on, but yeah. So Warzone 2 is November 16th. Are you going to be streaming it?
Yeah, for sure.
Yep. All right.
If I can.
Yeah, guys, I'm telling you, this kid is the future of gameplay for Warzone 2. Like I said, he's 10 years old, already got a Twitch channel that's doing amazing. Shorts and stuff on YouTube are so fun to watch, and just a fun kid to hang out with, and he's smart. You even know that Activision's trying to sneak in overpowered blueprints on you, don't you? To get you to buy them. I thought that was awesome. So yeah, we'll look forward to that.
The gameplay that is on right now, I edited that video. I've been editing my own content. I've been learning that. Yeah,
and he's been putting out a lot of stuff on YouTube, and the editing is getting better and better. Really good pacing. The transitions are pretty cool, and someone to follow. You heard it here first. And then is there anything else you want to say about Modern Warfare 2 or anything like that that's on your mind about it, or Warzone 2 before we move on?
No.
All right. So how this is going to go, guys, we're going to take a really short break. We're going to swap out for my good friend Hillbilly Man, Boone's dad, and then we're going to go through and talk a little bit about the news and stuff like that. Boone, thank you so much for joining me, man. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
We'll have to have you back on after it launches and see what you think.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, then. All right, guys, we will be right back. All right, guys, we're back. It's like
Back.
we just went a time jump. This is Boone in the future. Get these bots out of here. Why do you have to bring the sex bots when you come?
It's just kind of that's what I do. You know, I can't help it.
Oh no, it's on
Yeah,
Boone's channel.
for everybody that doesn't know, I was the original co-host of the Scope.
Yeah, this is not the first time.
This is not my first episode of the Scope, believe it or not.
This is not the first time. When I was starting this disaster of a program, Walt joined me for quite a few episodes. This is the father of the Beastmode, Boone, very good friend of mine. What else? You're like a multi-platinum country music recording artist, bourbon connoisseur, like the top leading bourbon expert in the entire planet. This guy knows bourbon, and I love bourbon. And he
chew Red Seal.
He's putting in a big old Ouija Red Seal. You're like, not even choke and gag him?
Yep, no.
Dude, these bots are going to make me lose it. Do you want to know?
Get them out.
You know what we should do first?
What should we do first?
We should have a moment of silence for Google Stadia. Did you see that died?
No, but I'm down for it.
Okay, moment of silence.
All right, that's probably enough.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yep. That was kind of a funny deal. So the next thing, I don't know, I wonder if anybody out there had Google Stadia. I think that thing seemed doomed from the start, but
it's dead.
It's made me laugh.
It's dead.
Because everyone, yeah, faulty. Google Stadia died. Everyone was pulling up tweets from when they were announcing it and saying it was the best thing ever, and was like, yeah, and it was never gonna die, and they were gonna keep adding games to it. And then I think it was Jason Schreier or somebody came out and said like they were literally paying millions of dollars to have games on there, and now it's just like completely gone. Oh, it's gone forever.
Wow.
Another one of those like remote render games that died.
That's what you call a bad investment.
I don't know why people keep trying to do it, because they had like GeForce Now, and I don't know. It just doesn't ever work out. Doesn't seem like.
Somebody will hit it at some point.
Yep. I guess. So the next thing that I wanted to talk about was a little bit about Battlefield 2042, your favorite game that you've been playing.
We were talking about that months ago. We're still talking about 2042.
Yeah, because they're actually doing something. So here, I'm going to show you this, and you're going to tell me how cool it is.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I broke my computer. This show stinks.
Should I reinstall it? That's my biggest question.
Maybe because they're after a year or so they got it to where you can kind of aim. So that's
really?
That's pretty lit in a shooter game.
Man, I like aiming. I might have to reinstall that thing. Give it a whirl.
You like aiming? It's fun.
I love aiming.
Dude, I'm so good at aiming. All right. So here's what's happening. Now, according to Tom Henderson's new outlet, the Insider Gaming, we know the release date, the potential alleged release date of The Liquidators, Battlefield's 2042 event, mid-October. The information on the screen comes to us from Temporal, the infamous Battlefield data miner, so we can get a little bit of information on there. For that person that listens to this on podcast, when a competitor threatens their business, the dark market sends in the Liquidators, a vicious hit squad that specializes in involuntary asset liquidation. Sounds gross. Your job is to dissolve enemy squads from the battlefield and capture areas of critical dark market. Bottom line, capture and hold multiple objectives on new, smaller infantry-only conquest map layouts. Tactical Conquest features 16v16 and 8v8 matches. Earn ribbons in Tactical Conquest to unlock rewards. There you go.
Nice.
So I thought it was worth talking about because there hasn't been a lot of live service content from DICE. The majority of the content has been fixing the maps, fixing the aiming, copy pasting vault weapons over into the game. But this seems like actually something kind of new. There's a lot of. There's a lot of.
We have a quick question. Do we have a scoreboard now?
Yeah, man. Where you been?
Okay, I've been lost.
I've had a scoreboard for like 6 months.
Okay, good.
Pretty high.
This with a scoreboard sounds pretty freaking cool.
And you can
I
aim.
have to reinstall it, and I can aim.
Yeah, I mean it's not.
I like it.
So according to the lead gameplay designer, it's not to where it was. It's not to like the aiming of older Battlefields, but it's better, and you can potentially shoot where you want to. So that's pretty good. So I'm excited about it because I think I'm gonna play it. I think I'm gonna. I still have the game installed. I think I'm gonna give it a try, and I appreciate them doing something. This is some kind. This resembles like live service content, even though it's gonna. There's no like new maps or anything. There's new cosmetics and Okay, well I guess it's not really a new game mode either because we've had Tactical Conquest in the past before. But 8v8 is pretty fun. It's pretty fun. You don't got to worry about vehicles necessarily, and just the infantry gameplay. Depending on which part of the maps they use and how they lay that out, it could be a lot of fun.
I could see it being fun with smaller size teams. That was one of the big problems with, well, there was a lot of problems with Battlefield when it launched 2042, but, you know, it was just too big. There was like no purpose to go anywhere. It was kind of painful. So playing on a smaller map, 8v8, I like that. I like the sound of it. It sounds a little more fast-paced. Actually play objective-based with that. Yeah, I might have to reinstall it and play it with you. I'd be down.
Yeah, we'll give it a try. It would be interesting to see what your take is since you played it on release when it was an absolute disaster to play it now when it's almost like beta quality.
I've not played it, and I'm sure I'm probably part of the majority listening to this. I've not played it since the second week after release. I was done.
Really?
Bye-bye. Yep.
I felt like every time I tried to give you a call and you didn't answer, it's like, oh, he's probably just playing 2042 again.
Yeah, I was just over here grinding away, trying to level her up, you know?
Yeah. Got to level up those 4 assault rifles, you know? So, yeah. I kid. I guess the game overall, everyone kind of knows how I feel about it. I'm pretty upset with how the community was treated and the lack of content and stuff like that. But this is something different, and I'd like to try it. And I think the way the engine's kind of jacked up, and again, I guess I don't want to get into the weeds about my theories on why that is, but it might actually run smoothly with only 8 players. Maybe this trash can Frostbite version can actually run smoothly with 8v8, and it might be all right.
I did play Battlefield 1 the other day on the PlayStation, because I still have it on my PlayStation. Let me tell you.
Let me tell you.
Woo.
You tell me.
Woo.
Yeah, it's good.
It's Man, really good. I really believe if Battlefield 1 had Battlefield 5's movement, it'd be the best Battlefield game of all time. But I digress.
I've always said put Battlefield like 1's aesthetics, audio, and immersion in a modern setting with Battlefield 5's movement. That would be
cool.
And ooh.
Yep.
But like, I go back and play those games and they almost make me emotional because I get really sad. I get really sad. But I haven't really played 2042 since I got my new CPU, so maybe it'll run a little bit better.
Might get 80 frames now.
Yeah. Yeah. Whoa. Without as many frame dips, and the control and the thing might work. The input, so I can aim. The other thing, I guess that's it. So we'll look forward to that on October 10th. After the next show. So yeah, what's going on? Again, I know people in and out. Buff is busy this week. I'm also busy this week. I'm leaving for tomorrow. I'm leaving tomorrow for like medical stuff, and then the next, like later in the week, I'm leaving again to go out into the woods to chase things with a bow and arrow. And I'm gonna have like no phone, no internet, no nothing. Unplugged. It's
gonna be great.
In the wilderness.
Enjoy yourself.
And then we'll be back. I think the next episode will be, I get back on Monday, so we'll probably just do the next episode next Tuesday. But I just wanted to put something together so we didn't miss a week of episodes. So we always stick to it. We get an episode a week, and we're doing it. So here we are. That's why Buff's not here. So the next thing. Oh, I think Justin brings up a really good point real quick. He said, if you haven't played 2042 since launch, it's actually pretty fun now with friends. I think with friends is key. And I think an 8v8 mode could be pretty fun because if you have a few friends, you can actually make a difference in the match. And instead of 128 player disasters. So I think that's something that we need to check out for sure. Yeah, the next thing, October 10th, by the way, World War III open beta. Oh man,
How did
Okay.
that go? Because I didn't follow that. I know it's just like that we've been waiting on it, and to play it before you actually had to like buy it, right? And that's how
Yeah.
you played the game. But now
So
they did an open beta, like here you go, everybody, whoever wants to play it.
yes, so for the first time now, it is free to play. So if you're on PC on Steam, you can go download it. It has such a bad third-party launcher. So my opinion really hasn't changed that much on this game since it came out. It's really cool to see populated servers and stuff like that when you can connect. They just straight up had server issues again. This is
Really?
like the third time they've launched and it still had server issues. I feel so bad for the people that work on the game that aren't in the networking department. like the people that designed the customization and the guns and a lot of the gameplay and maps and stuff, and then just to have it marred by server issues every time they try to launch this thing it has to be depressing. I feel bad for them for sure.
I was concerned when they did do the open beta. They'd already had so many server problems. How's that going to work? So
it wasn't great, but it could have been worse. It should have been fine because again, they've been through this several times. But
they have been.
They had server issues on the first day, the second day, and now it's just kind of off and on, and they're working on them and taking them down for maintenance, and people are still getting to play. But it's like I hear the same thing with this game. When people get into it and play, they're like, man, this is really fun. And then it's just marred by those technical issues, mainly server stuff. It's really
It kind of
fun.
ruins an experience for you too when that stuff's jacked,
Yep. It's a huge challenge. It has to be such a huge challenge to get a game like that to run on multiplayer game like that to run. And the other thing is, if you've played this in 2018, like I had an off and on for the last 4 years, and you think, oh, the open beta is going to be sweet and getting back into it, there's still like 4 maps and 2 game modes. And to re-release it and have a big open beta going free to play, and really the only thing that they added to the game was a store, was really disappointing to me. They did re-add in the Smolensk map that's been reworked. It's not a lot different. The lighting's a lot better, and it plays well. But again, it's something that I played in 2018, 2019. You could play Smolensk, and I've already played it. So it's kind of like, as a veteran of the game, I get like hyped to play it, and then I hop back in and it's like the same. Stuff.
Yeah. So I don't want to be like an a-hole or a Debbie Downer here, but like,
too bad.
You just said it, like you've been playing it since 2018. It's now 2022. Like, what are we doing? Like, what are we doing at this point? Like, I think they've had their run of hype. I hate to say this, but I think they've had it, and now people are like, whatever.
Yeah, I do see.
It's going to take something massive for that game to be an actual like staple kind of hit at this point.
And the base is there. The setting is
base
really
has
cool.
Been there. It's been there for 4 years.
Yeah, that's true.
Yep.
The art style is really cool. It's kind of like it's an interesting push-pull. You have a really good base game for a type of game that people are starving for. A modern military shooter that's like a Battlefield type game, that like an old Battlefield with like some hardcore and some milsim kind of elements, but still mostly on the arcade side. Like, perfect game that a lot of people want, and then it's just marred by lack of content and server issues. I think the server issues are getting lined out. The other thing that was a problem at launch, they have this flipping launcher. So you download it in Steam, and when you download it in Steam, you only download the launcher. So then you have to open the launcher from Steam, which in and of itself is also a launcher. And then you download the game in their launcher, and it doesn't have the Steam servers. So it was like a peer-to-peer thing. So it was taking people days and days to download the game once it opened up because of their launcher. So that was pretty rough too. frustrating stuff like that. But they have said in a couple of their latest trailers, they've teased some new maps. One I believe takes place in the Korean DMZ, and there's we've seen ones in like New York and like Tokyo, it looks like. So I just think they have these maps in the chamber. They need to get them going to get people re-excited about it. I think the veterans, but I am seeing a lot of people who are playing it for the first time are having a lot of fun. And friend of the program, YouTuber Blue the Robot, has been playing quite a bit. And I think the servers were down this afternoon, so he just built some guns and he built some custom weapons in that thing that looked amazing. Like the weapon customization is so good. He tweeted out some screenshots of some really cool guns that he built in there.
I've always liked the look of their weapon customization and how that works. I think it's pretty neat.
It's perfect. The gold standard for sure. So I hope, and they've also alluded to new game modes as well, which are desperately needed. And with that base, I think that good gameplay base, I think there's a lot of things you could do with that. Game modes you could do to add to the replayability, since there's only like 4 overall large maps. So I think people should definitely try to play it if they haven't yet. A lot of times, inevitably, people ask about console. They've said if PC launch is successful, console is being worked on. So that definitely remains to be seen. I just don't think it's going to hold people's attention long term. The masses, there'll be diehard people that really get sucked into the game. The core gameplay and customization is that good. I feel like people will get sucked into it. But just to have a big massive success with full servers, a lot of people playing and excited about it, they got to add more. Because I think Big Fry kind of had the same reaction when he launched it, and I watched him play it. He's like, again, 4 years, and what we added was a store. That's it. So it's a weird deal. I'll tell
you what I would like to see.
It's a really odd situation.
Hop dream here. Take a journey with me.
I'm here. Let's do it. Where are we going?
We're going to take a journey, and we're going to act like, I like Call of Duty. I play Call of Duty with Boone a lot. That's the game. Imagine if there was another company out there. Yeah, he dropped the ball. That could actually build hype and create a game that could actually take Call of Duty head to head. What would we get out of that? And how awesome would that be to see 2 competing franchises in the same space battling it out? I think it would be such a good thing for the player base. I'm excited for Modern Warfare 2. They have DMZ. They're doing all these things, but they are running free right now, and nobody's even on their tail. And I just hope, as a gamer, that changes over the course of the next 12 to 18 months. And that's my journey. That's my pipe dream. But
that was nice. Thank you for that.
You're welcome. Anytime.
Big Mike in chat also says something interesting. It should be taken into consideration that all the time was early access. Now it's going out for everyone, not a minority that went out of their way to play it early. That's true. That's true. And I'm speaking for myself. And like I said, a lot of the people that are jumping into it now are really loving it. And that's good to see. I was just like, I've been here. I played it with Drac from my Discord, and we were playing a Smolensk map, and I just kind of found myself like, is this match about over yet? Like I've been there, done that. But it's pretty cool. It's gonna be. I hope they can do stuff. There also has been rumors in one of their earnings calls for the company that a roadmap is coming soon. So that'll be really important to see what's actually going on with that. A roadmap. So if you haven't tried it out there in podcast or YouTube or Twitch or wherever the heck you are, I would try it out and see what you think. I'd love to hear what you think of it in comments in my Discord or whatever, because it's a pretty cool game. I see myself still playing and hopping in. I want to get some guns leveled up and get farther along. And then what you said, so I kind of just completely ignored what you said, even though it was awesome. Yeah, COD has they have nothing. They have no competition, and that worries me. Anytime Yeah, anytime a company doesn't have any competition, they can do whatever they want, and that generally, historically speaking, doesn't work out very well for the consumer.
No, you've got to give them props because everything they did with COD Next, their marketing, letting players know what's coming, leaving enough to tell you later, like their balance of the launch of this whole next cycle of Call of Duty, in my opinion, it's probably been one of the most well thought out, uh, and they nailed it. And props to them for that. I just wish somebody else was doing that too. So much of what they did with Modern Warfare 2 was what we were just praying for, like 10% of that with Battlefield, and we never got it.
Yeah, I think the last
Anyway,
time Call of Duty
I
had
digress.
competition was that year of Infinite Warfare and Battlefield 1.
Yes.
And that's when I'd always played Battlefields, but that's like when I fell in love with Battlefield.
Same.
Was Battlefield
Same.
1. Just
Me too.
Amazing.
Yep.
It was sweet. So I don't know, and it's not. I don't want people to get the wrong idea. We're not saying we want like the COD player base versus the Battlefield. My game's better. No, we just
it doesn't matter.
we just want companies competing in this space so we get better products. We get more content for a better price and so on and stuff like that. So I'm really hoping. Yeah, some like the Medal of Honor games and stuff like that. Yeah, Infinite Warfare still was the top selling one. But I'm not sure. I don't think we really had the way that the metrics to say. Anecdotally, all my friends switched to Battlefield when that happened. So, and especially when the game or whatever that has the almost monopoly on the genre is ran by Activision, that has to get you like really nervous, because of what they've done in like the MMO space and some things like that with microtransactions, things like that. So that's what we've been worried about. Apex Legends is still doing strong, but interesting segue to the next game we're going to talk about is the Finals. Now, this game is by Embark Studios, and you can tell when you play it that it was done by a lot of former DICE developers from the old games that we loved. Just how it felt, how it played, and the destruction was silly. Have you seen much about this? I think a lot of people are.
I've seen nothing, but I'm watching it right now.
So this game is really, really interesting. Basically because of the developers and the innovation that studio has already talked about, with how they're programming games and doing stuff. But you can see that the destruction is stupid. And you might think that trailer is like a gimmick. Nah, dude. It's really like that. Like you can tear up anything in the match. I did get invited and played the alpha playtest, and I don't think I can say a whole lot based on the NDA stuff. But Rockhound Black, friend of the channel, we've had him on the program before and talked about Embark Studio stuff. He said you can talk about it for content and stuff. You just can't show anything. So we're looking at a trailer and stuff right now. He did a video where he went in depth about the playtest. He played it a lot. I played a few matches, and overall I was really impressed. We're gonna see some really cool stuff from this studio.
Oh, you've already played this game?
Yeah.
Where have I been?
Yeah.
What am I doing? The trailer kind of looks like it's very unique, but it color palette, like it puts me in the mind of almost like a first-person Fortnite combined with Apex. Like that's kind of what I feel out when I'm watching that. It's like people that would grow out of Fortnite or whatever. I could see them like being very drawn to this trailer.
Yep. And I know a lot of folks, like especially from Buff's channel, who really enjoy the milsim type stuff and like the weapon conversions that Buff does. And I get it, because when you go that route in a game, it makes it really immersive. It's easy to get lost in it. It's easy to have fun that way and feel immersed. And some of you guys might write off a game like this, but it's going to be free to play, so I recommend trying it out, because it's something new. It really is something new and different, and I think that's something that we need. While I'm not a huge fan of the setting and kind of the aesthetic of the game, If it plays well, that's some of the stuff I can get around. But just to see the destruction that we've been missing from Battlefield, and it was like, that's the first tweet I put out. I was like, guys, I found where our destruction went. Like,
It went into the finals, huh?
yep. So it's like
When does this thing come out?
not sure. I think this fall. I'm pretty sure. And then
They just did the alpha.
yep. And then this studio is also doing a third person co-op shooter, PvE, our creators. So they're working on that too. But they decided to go this route first. It really does feel kind of like Apex Arenas. So it'll be interesting. A lot of content creators are saying, like a lot of large content creators are saying, you know, keep your eye on this and stuff like that. But it's let's see. It's 4, so you start out with 4 teams of 3. And then you have to find cash and extract with it. And then you have kind of heroes that have different abilities and weapons and stuff. And then you like, so it's kind of like a process of elimination. Like the lowest team doesn't move on to the next round, and you eventually make it to the finals, where then it's more kind of like a BR at the end to try to win. But like the aesthetic was really neat. You can see in the background, you can see the arena lights, and there's like a hologram crowd, and there's like an announcer, and it's pretty neat. It really is.
Did you
pretty neat.
win
It's something
any
different.
games?
No,
Dang.
my teammates are trash. Is that what I'm supposed to say? Because it's not my fault.
Yep.
It's not my fault. But it is a game. I didn't play it too long for that reason. I like to get into the strategy of games, and playing a game like that solo is rough with like no comms or playing with randos. It's frustrating to me. But I was incredibly impressed with how it played. The time to kill is really long. You can get revived by your teammates. There's a lot of team play. It really is. If you do like that kind of strategy, there is going to be a lot there. There's going to be a whole bunch there. Because I mean, it really is. You hear the term sandbox thrown around all the time, but it really is one. Because you can shape it and move it however you want. If you want to take out a building, you can. There's different specialists that can put cover back up, so you can reshape things how you want. I think there's going to be an endless amount of strategy on how to do well in this game. And the graphics are silly. I think it's Unreal Engine 5. It's one of the first Unreal Engine 5 games.
Nice.
And the other thing is with the destruction, why that's so cool. It's one of the first times we've had this much destruction that's server side, right? So a lot of times, even Rainbow Six used to be like this. A lot of the server was kept track, or a lot of the destruction was kept track on the client side. So the map might look different to you on how like your computer thinks the state of the game is in, the state of the map, and the destruction. For this, all the crazy destruction, the map leveling, and all that stuff, all that information is stored server side. So it looks exactly the same to everybody. And they had to do a whole bunch of magic hocus pocus to get that to work right.
Pucus. So let me clarify here. This is you went in and how many teams? Four teams of 3?
Yeah, 12 people.
And then you work your way down, and it ultimately kind of plays like a BR at the end.
Yeah, when you reach the finals. Yeah.
How many teams reach the finals?
2.
So then it's like a 4v4 or 3v3.
Yeah.
A 3v3 at the end, and okay.
Yep. It's kind of a new thing, Justin. It's not necessarily just a BR. It's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of like extraction at first, and then it turns into a BR later. Yeah, Forge mode would be really neat, for sure. In the aimbot asks if you're able to talk about anti-aliasing. There were 2 different times. There was just 1A or 1X and 2X anti-aliasing. So that's all that was in there. So Yep,
The finals.
it was in there. But there's the finals, one of the first games from Embark Studios. And yeah, if you look at the list of developers working on it, it's pretty crazy. Just
Nice.
a lot of folks from former DICE that are working on it, and it's worth talking about, keeping an eye out just for the fact that it's something different. It's not like anything we've seen before, I don't think. And it's really cool. So
It's
yeah.
time for something. I know that.
I
It's
checked
time
it
for
out.
something. So,
All right. The last thing. The last of the prepared topics. that I had.
DMZ.
Yeah. So you know a little bit about DMZ, right?
I know a little bit about it. Yep.
Enough to get you in
Yep.
trouble.
Enough to get me in trouble. I know it's going to be played on the Warzone 2.0 map. I know that. Right?
Yep. Yeah.
But as far as anything outside of that, I don't.
So
really
there's
know.
been, yeah, there's been some new quote unquote leaks about the different missions and stuff like that. But if you've been following the show or mine or Buff's channels, we've talked about it already. Like pretty much all the stuff that came out in a new article is stuff that we've already covered. So if you've been here or on Buff's channel or my channel, like I said, we've already talked about it. But a lot of it just seems almost copy paste from Tarkov. And my thing was, I want to ask you this: what I'm worried about with DMZ. If people haven't heard about it, we can get into some of those things, some of the missions and the challenges and stuff like that. I remember a lot of them, but I'm just worried about DMZ. I think it's a huge risk for Infinity Ward, because from what it sounds like, the vibe I got from hearing content creators that went to COD Next talk about it is a lot of the mechanics that people weren't excited about in Warzone 2. Some of the AI, how you have to buy guns, are all mechanics from DMZ. It's like DMZ was the main focus, and then Warzone was kind of built from that. So I guess my worry is that you have games that are incredibly detailed extraction game modes. Let's say the one everybody's thinking, Escape from Tarkov. That game has so much to it. It has a lot of progression. There's so many challenges. There's so many lootable items. There's so much depth in that game. And people still get bored of it after a couple months and want it to wipe. How do you, in an extraction mode, keep people interested? How do you keep it fresh?
I don't know. I think it's what Call of Duty has obviously done very well to this point in the last, let's say 4 or 5 years, has been seeing what's successful, what people are gravitating towards, these niches that, you take PUBG, for example, didn't quite have the horsepower to take PUBG where it needed to be when it needed to get there, and they took the battle royale genre and they kind of are dominating there to a point out of Fortnite, Apex, and they will be the first ones to do this with a DMZ. I mean, Battlefield kind of came out and we hoped that Hazard Zone would have some of this stuff. So what it sounds like to me is they're going to bring this to a buttload more players that have a console sitting at their house, right? That have seen Tarkov or have heard about it, or maybe people that don't even know about it are going to be experiencing this for the first time. So I think they're going to have a lot of players that haven't experienced that type of mode yet. And I think it will probably do extremely well in the first 12 months. What are they going to do after that? I don't know. Do they know? Maybe not. I don't know. But I think out of the gate, if it's smooth and it plays well and it all ties together with progression through Warzone, the multiplayer, and then you have a DMZ for free sitting there too, it is literally set up for success just by the sheer amount of people that they're going to be hitting, that haven't experienced it yet.
Yep. There's no question that at release there's going to be a ton of people play it. People that have seen, the cycle, console players who've seen the cycle and seen Escape from Tarkov and haven't got a chance to play a game mode like that are going to be very excited to try it, I'm sure. I just don't
Oh,
know
yeah.
how. I think they're gonna have a ton of people try it. I don't know how you keep them. I don't know what the answer is. For an extraction type game mode
And
to
it's
have
like,
that replayability.
well, I mean, Battle Royale has, I mean, it even loses that for me sometimes, that replayability. You know, we won like 6 games last night. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah, we did.
But it's the same kind of thing. Like,
No big
I
deal.
think they're going to take advantage of a market that hasn't really been tapped into. It's no big deal. We won 6 games last night. Check them out, twitch.tv
It's fine.
/Crash8, like the stream. But they're going to take advantage of that, a really untapped market. I mean, for a lot of people, it's not untapped because they watch content or they've played Tarkov and they've been in that. But God, man, how many millions of people haven't had the opportunity? So I think they're going to take full advantage of that and they're going to ride it. And it's free to play, for God's sake. I mean, come on. Tell me those servers aren't going to be overloaded with people trying this thing out. And I think the first few months are going to be a heck of a lot of fun for a lot of people that have already played Tarkov or a game like it. I do. So I don't know. We'll see how it progresses. Only time will tell.
Yeah, but I mean, so like in Warzone, if you win, you get that adrenaline rush at the end, and then like, oh yeah, a little dopamine rush when you win. If you are doing stuff in an extraction type mode, there's a shot. Well, I don't know. Some of the leaks are saying there's going to be quite a few people on the map, but I don't think you get as big a rush. Like there has to be something at stake for when you extract. Like if you extract with something really rare, really cool, or if you complete a mission. And I'm just trying to think in Tarkov, like when I've been really excited.
Right.
The looting has to be good. It needs, I don't know what it needs, man. I'm telling you. I mean, if you think about all the stuff that Tarkov has, and people still get bored with it and want it to wipe. Um, I mean, maybe that's what they have to do. Maybe with each season, they kind of wipe your progression, and as long as the challenges and missions are different, maybe fit a little bit of a narrative, then that might be pretty cool. To keep the replayability going. But I just mean even with a game like Tarkov, like, and I guess I could do this now, but like if you pull up Google Trends, in like YouTube searches, you can see people are like crazy about Tarkov when it wipes. There's a ton of players, and then now it's like way down. Like with this wipe, they didn't bring a lot to it. So there's not as near as many people searching for it and talking about it and stuff like that. So yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. Time will tell. I think they're in a powerful position with this. You know, uh, as far as bringing new content, new maps potentially in the next 12 months to that. I know Tarkov, like people have been waiting on Streets of Tarkov. I've heard about that for a very long time.
Yeah.
But I don't think you're going to have that. Like I think it's going to be, hey, here's a new map, bam, here we go, let's go, new content. Because they have done a really good job. As much as like some of this stuff seems like it's getting old, like because like with me, I play Call of Duty all the dang time. They do jam a lot of content in there, you know.
Yeah, I wish it was more
and I
maps.
think they're getting pretty proficient with that, you know. And they've shown like these little glimmers of, you know, greatness in that with like the Fortune's Keep map drop and things of that nature. You know, they obviously flubbed the dub with Caldera, according to a lot of people, myself included. But they've changed that and they've learned a lot as they go, and I think they're trying to implement that as they go, like they're learning as they go. So that's a good thing. We'll see. Time will tell. I will quit rambling.
That's what we do here. That's what this show is for. It's to ramble. But yeah, I just wanted to. I might dive into it a little bit more with like analytics and stuff like that about how extraction royales kind of lose players over time. So that's the key thing when we hear more about DMZ. Allegedly, we're supposed to hear about it more before launch, which there's not that much time between now and launch. We're in launch month now.
Yeah, we're like 27 days away, right?
26, yeah.
Yeah.
And then it'd be 19 days till the early access of the campaign. So, yeah, it's
Turn me up.
it's headed our way close, or fast, or whatever word that belongs
Close
there.
and quick and stuff. I followed you. Everybody
getting
knew
there?
what you meant. It's fine.
Cool. Yeah, this show stinks.
God, it's so bad.
But that's what I'm going to be
If
looking
you haven't
for.
already, hit that thumbs up button out there, everybody. Just hit that
Lord.
button one time.
That's what I'm going to be. That's what I'm going to be
Oh,
looking
God.
for. Looking for is like how they're going to keep players, and it's going to be
It'll be
interesting to see how people that generally play, fast Call of Duty enjoy an extraction type game mode.
Yep.
One of the leaked missions.
They don't have to play it. They don't have to play it.
True, but then are people going to be like, you put all this stuff in my beloved Warzone, so you could make DMZ, and then
probably people will always complain. That's one thing you can guarantee about. Complaints will always happen. So yeah, people will absolutely say that very sentence you just said.
I'm really
times.
good at complaining too. That's another thing this show is really good for. Complaining.
No, just point out facts. That's what this show does.
Data, facts, numbers.
It's not mindless complaining. It's like common sense complaints.
That's debatable. That's pretty debatable.
Whatever.
But I think, yeah, that's the main thing I wanted to get across with DMZ. It sounds like they're on the right track, and from some of the stuff that's leaked, there's a good base there. So there's stuff like get this many kills on grunts. You have to kill some of the Al-Qatala bosses and extract with their stuff. There's different lootable items you have to get out. Maybe there's going to be some like exclusive rewards and stuff inside some of these strongholds guarded by AI. There are keys. There was a funny Easter egg type one. I don't know if this is even going to be in there, where it talked about you have to go to the moon and get cheese. Like you could build a rocket ship, and I think it might be an Easter egg that was in the code. That'll be weird. It'd be kind of cool.
What about nukes? Didn't I hear
a lot of stuff
about
there.
a nuke?
I didn't see that. I
heard nukes are going to be in DMZ. You heard it here first.
Everybody get excited. That would make sense. To do stuff. I just think they need to have a lot of things that people can do on the map. It also sounded like there was going to be up to 100 players on the map plus AI. That's a lot. So you're always going to be in combat, but I think there needs to be a lot for people to do. And I also hope I really hope that there's dynamic insertion points in servers, more like the cycle has. So Tarkov, when you go into a raid, everybody starts at the beginning and people learn where those spawns are, and they learn like one of the biggest differences between newer Tarkov players and really good Tarkov players are you learn the spawns and you learn the timing of when people will be where. So you can spawn in and you say, oh, I know people spawn here and here and here. I'm at this spawn. They're going to be crossing here in about 5 minutes. So let's get there. And they get there and they catch people, and it gets really predictable. The cycle has like perpetual servers that keep running instead of a server up and running for that 40-minute raid or whatever. They run a lot longer, and people infill and exfil at like different times. So I hope to see like persistent servers that keep running and keep it from getting predictable, because that will really be annoying too. Like if you spawn in a certain building, and with 100 people, there's going to be quite a few spawns, but then that there's someone that spawns 3 buildings over down on this street, and you just run over there and kill them. I hope they keep it. I hope they keep it dynamic, so the server just keeps running, and people are always infilling and exfilling, and it makes it a lot less predictable.
Yep, I think they're on the right track. They're definitely going to see some very large success with this DMZ. And I'll tell you what, in my opinion, you think I'm wrong, I think it took some balls to show Warzone 2 gameplay as early as they did. Number one, they already know what the community is like. Like they're about to get roasted, and they know it, right? No matter what. And then to let all the some of the top tier Warzone players have access to that and take feedback from that. I wasn't expecting that in September. I'm not going to lie. I didn't think we were going to see anything until closer to the launch of Modern Warfare 2. So props to them for that. And we'll just see where DMZ goes. I think it's a big question mark around a lot of it, but fundamentally, I think they're on a path of great success for that, and it'll be interesting to see it play out.
Cool. Agreed.
Cool,
man.
That's my words.
I just wanted to say it.
Words.
I just wanted to say that I kind of want to be I kind of want to be on the board, like in the ledger as a DMZ skeptic, just because I've played quite a few extraction type game modes.
Yep.
And I've seen them. I've seen the rise and fall of the player base, and it's hard. And the traditional Call of Duty community, I don't know how they're going to handle that kind of game. So, and maybe they're not going for that. Maybe they're going for new players.
Who knows?
I don't.
I think they want it all. That's what I think, and they're kind of going for it because let me tell you one more quick thing: the ground war on the big map on Modern Warfare 2 beta was. I had more fun with that than I did the entire first 2 weeks of Battlefield 2042.
You can say
It was smooth.
I'll allow you to say that.
Yeah,
but it still didn't feel like Battlefield to me.
No, it didn't.
Okay,
It's
I
the
thought you were
closest
trying to
I've
say
ever. No, it's not like I'm not saying apples to apples Battlefield. It was the closest that I've seen Call of Duty come to making me feel anywhere close to what like Battlefield 1 made me feel. And there was just like little hints of it in there from time to time. I'm like, man, it kind of feels like Battlefield right here. You know,
Yeah,
it's
they
not,
are trying.
it's not an apples to apples comparison, but they attack that big map objective based gameplay very well in that.
Yeah,
not perfect, but
they're definitely trying to make modes for everybody.
they literally did that. Warzone 2, working on DMZ, added a couple interesting multiplayer modes in too, and they're still doing what they do, like stuff that I hate, like team deathmatch, domination. It's the same old COD, which they'd be dumb not to do that, but I don't know.
Yep.
We'll see.
Yep, and that's exactly my thought. Raz was, I was gonna say if I could change anything out of Ground War, it would be add squad only revives. Maybe make a field upgrade that's a revive syringe that you could use on anybody. So every once in a while you could revive somebody who's not. But if you could revive your teammates, that's one of the things. That's one of the things that made me enjoy Battlefield was going with a squad and sticking together. And you're at such an advantage if you have a few medics with you or friends that can revive. And I think if they added revives to your squad in Ground War, in Modern Warfare 2, it would make it play so much better.
I agree.
Because there's all those times where you die and then you make the call out and your teammate cleans them up and then they can revive you and you can move on and keep trying to take points and objectives and stuff. And it just, you feel so much like you're working together. And that's like one of the coolest parts about Battlefield is like playing with a couple friends.
Correct.
And you're a squad in this giant battle and you're trying to, move through this battlefield and you have kind of an objective and stuff like that. It would be
hence
really cool.
Battlefield 4, Battlefield 1, and late Battlefield 5. Man, good Lord, so good. And 2042 felt nothing like any of those three games. And I will go out on a limb and I'll say that freaking Ground War felt more like Battlefield than 2042 did. But okay, I digress.
I don't think I'll quite go that far. I can't say that. I think Battlefield 2042.
I said it.
Still feels more Battlefieldy.
It doesn't feel like Battlefield.
That's not saying much. No,
it just doesn't. I don't feel it, but it's fine. Their next one's going to be great. I'm definitely not pre-ordering it though.
I don't think anybody is. Battlefield 7 weekly. We start those episodes up.
Let's get it going.
Yeah, I had some comments on videos over the last week of people saying, "Are you gonna talk about Battlefield ever again?" Most of your subscribers came from Battlefield, and it's like, man, I wrestle with that every day. I wrestle with that every day. I can't in good conscience, or I don't want to. I want to make videos that I'm excited about, and I just don't want to go through the motions and make Battlefield stuff for a game that I don't really enjoy. And at the same time, I know it's kind of out of principle too. I'm really frustrated with how the community was treated. They were never really asked for feedback. I wish a lot of the large creators were asked for feedback early in time to change stuff like server browsers and class systems and scoreboards and all that stuff we were missing.
Mm-hmm.
And then at the same time, also we played a premium AAA price based on trailers. And it seems I'm gonna say allegedly they held gameplay from us before the game launched because they knew the state it was in.
They definitely did.
We paid AAA price, and the amount of post-launch content we've getting after being told in an earnings call that we're getting a robust, engaging live service. It's just a flat out lie, and I'm really upset with how the community was treated. And one of the reasons I'm not covering as much Battlefield is because I don't want to promote a game and for that to become the norm, because the community deserves better
Amen.
than what they got. And
Yes.
yeah, I struggle with
Preach to us, Crash.
I don't know. I just struggle with a lot of stuff on what to do because I know that, and my channel suffered for it a lot. But I sleep better at night, like not promoting a game that was kind of a sham to the community.
There will be more games come and go. Lots happening right now. There's a lot of things happening. COD's they're in the driver's seat right now, but I don't see it. There's too much money and big power players out there to let that go on for the next 3 years. Like, it's just not going to happen. So I think us as gamers, we have a lot to look forward to in the first person space. I think it's going to be pretty bright.
But another reason why I
Call
started
me Mr. Optimism, but
we need that around here.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's one of the reasons I started this program. So
Yeah.
That's something cool that came from here.
Let's talk about all the first person shooters and what's going on out there, because it is a matter of time. Somebody's going to come play with Call of Duty, So I'm looking forward to it because it'll make Call of Duty better and just the overall space better. So
you'd think
it'll happen. It will happen.
One would think. Yeah, I guess that's pretty much it for the prepared remarks, huh? Don't you think?
Yeah, I had nothing prepared. I'm glad you did.
I always try to come up with something to talk about, but yeah, that's like I didn't want to miss a week. I wanted to have at least some kind of show. I hope it didn't stink too bad. I think Boone kind of saved it. That was cool to talk to him early on and get a different perspective, because it is kind of a revolving cast of boomers around here. So it's cool to get the youngins take.
Get the young blood in. He still thinks a lot of the same things we think. He just thinks a little bit differently.
Probably because he hears me complaining about it all the time.
Yeah, probably.
I am too, Big Mike. Yeah, guys. So if you wanted to, do you have a little bit of time for chat Q&A, just real quick?
Oh yeah.
If you guys want to ask questions or statements or anything, we talk with chat for a little bit before we call it an episode. But it's been awesome. Thank you everyone for being here. Hope everything's going all right. Buff's got a lot of moving parts right now. Exciting stuff going on personally for him. So hopefully that's going well for Buff. We miss you, Buff. And
Buff.
Miss you. And yeah, appreciate everyone for hanging out with us on a little bit of a different show on a different date. I got a lot of weird stuff going on this next week. And again, we will be, I think our next episode, we're going to try not to miss a week, guys. Our next episode will be Tuesday, October 11th. So a day later than normal.
And like this thing if you haven't already, because that's what you're supposed to do and stuff. If you're enjoying it and stuff, just hit that thumbs up button.
And Big Mike says he's looking forward to X Defiant, and I kind of am too. That's going to be an arena shooter that could potentially be pretty cool, because on the opposite side of Battlefield, they are taking a lot of community feedback. They're doing a ton of insider sessions, and they've said some really cool things about how stuff's going to work with no skill-based matchmaking in the casual playlist. It's going to have ranked modes, and yeah, pretty cool. So again, that's another game where I'm not as excited about the aesthetic.
Right.
But yeah. Sorry, Raz. We had to change stuff up, man. Sorry. What's your opinion on the new MW2 Spec Ops? That should be really cool too. What those are, I think Spec Ops and the new raids that Raz mentioned earlier. Yeah, super cool mechanics to be able to add content down the road. So like Battlefield 5 had kind of the war stories that were different stories from different parts of the conflict. Those make really good ways to add stuff live service wise. I think with Spec Ops and with the raids, they've already talked about raids coming later on, are really good ways for live service for new content to continue the story. So a lot of times, and this is what we've talked about with Modern Warfare trying to be something for everybody, there's a large section of people that get Call of Duties and play them and enjoy the campaign stories. Well, a lot of times after you play the campaign of a Call of Duty, you're done playing story modes. But this is a really cool mechanic to allow them to add story content moving forward.
I like Spec Ops. I enjoyed Special Ops in Modern Warfare.
Yep.
Played
They've
those.
had a lot of pros on there too. Big Mike, they've had some other Call of Duty pros. I think Aches was helping them out at one time doing feedback sessions and some others. So they're really working with the community on X Defiant. The co-op and intel drops. Yeah, the raids are going to be neat too to work through with your friends and different stuff. There might be some cool cosmetics and stuff like that. So that's another thing. Sometimes with all the multiplayer stuff, I forget about that stuff. Because I'm not as into campaigns, but I'm definitely going to play this one. Hey, what's up, Tom? Welcome in. Can you talk for just a second while I go to the bathroom?
Oh yeah.
You sure?
I could talk.
Okay.
I'll bull breeze my way through your.
I'll go real
Sure.
fast.
Okay. Be careful. Don't trip. Bye. Bye, Crash. So what do you all think? DMZ has me excited too, Tom. Also really enjoyed the beta. There was a couple things, but I think they're going to work a lot of them out. It's a boomer dump, Anthony, guaranteed. That's just what I play the most right now is Call of Duty. That's why I do talk a lot about Call of Duty, but Battlefield was my game for quite a while, especially after what was that Infinite Warfare drops. I hated it, and then Battlefield 1 just came out like a wrecking ball, and I loved it. I do, Pierre.
No, it's not a dump. It was a number one.
Okay.
Don't be spreading these rumors. All right. I'm back. The show's probably over, but I'm back. Think we get realism modes back? I think so. I think they will. I really think they will. Go.
Good luck firing me up, Seth.
Go Cards.
Go Cards.
Is he talking about Louisville?
Louisville Cardinals. Hey, I don't dislike the Louisville Cardinals. What do you think about SBMM? Well,
it's
when I play with.
That was the wrong button. That was the wrong button.
Are you that excited about it?
Yeah, man. Crash. No, I was gonna say I think skill-based matchmaking. It's a piece.
Especially when we're trying to play with Boone. Man, his lobbies are terrible.
It's not good.
Get it out.
What do you think of it before I interrupted you?
What? I don't like it.
SBMM.
It's kind of frustrating. What I think they need to do with SBMM is at least be more transparent with what it is and how it works. There's too many people who think they know how it works that don't really know how it works, and just a lot of misinformation about what it is, I think. But that's my opinion. Maybe there is some form of it out there, but I think I don't stay up at night thinking about this or anything, but I think a ranked play would help because it would get a lot of the sweaty sweats wanting to play that.
Supposed to have that.
And if you're just playing normal pubs, no SBMM, random matchmaking, go have fun. And if you get in with a bunch of sweats, that's just so be it, but and then ranked, yeah, obviously you gotta, pair up against whoever's this, skill level and all that, but without a ranked, I don't think it has a place.
Yeah, I'm not sure how it would work on a large scale, but my gut tells me I would like to see very, very loose skill-based matchmaking in casual. I think there should be like kind of a lower class lobby for people who are learning, people with other, disabilities that are playing, so they're not getting stomped. Everybody should be able to have fun. But as the way it is now, and Modern Warfare 2 is supposed to get skill-based matchmaking, or excuse me, it's supposed to get ranked. Sorry, I'm thinking about skill-based matchmaking. It's supposed to have ranked, but it's still gonna have probably the same SBMM that they have. I've said this before, there are super complex patents that they have, algorithms that try to learn your gaming habits and try to give you harder lobbies and get everybody to have fun and keep people playing based on matchmaking. So it's not always just straight up skill-based matchmaking. There's a lot that goes into it, and it's meant to keep you playing.
Right.
But yeah, I wish there wasn't any of that stuff. Buff, dude. What's up, man? Yeah, Buff's in chat, guys.
Everybody thought I was you all day, Buff. Why'd you have to come in here and ruin it?
I know now they know.
Nobody even knew until now you're in chat and they're like, "Oh my gosh, that's not really Buff." Now
Miss
what
you,
am I gonna do?
Buff. Miss you, Buff. So yeah, we'll be back with Buff next week, potentially, allegedly. Yeah, it sucks. That's one thing to Big Mike's point that they've said with X Defiant is Byron Bede said that not Byron Bede. I can't remember. Was it him? No, that's me. New setup. He said that there's going to be no skill-based matchmaking in casual, and there will be ranked with obvious skill-based matchmaking in X Defiant. So it'll be really cool. Yeah, the podcast listeners probably freaking out. If the podcast listener listened till the end and we just hit him with an insane plot twist.
Insane.
Yeah, Buff went to the store and never came back.
Yep. Here I agree though. The TTK in especially this new Modern Warfare, but it's kind of multiplayer, TTK, whatever. It seems really, really fast to me. I would love to see that adjusted a little bit. I've always kind of enjoyed a little bit longer TTK, a little bit longer. But that's just me.
I like lower TTK because I am really bad at tracking targets. So that's the story.
Yeah, like with there's just no time to react when it's so short.
Yeah, I
like,
get that.
And maybe I don't think there is really a perfect TTK, or everybody would probably use it. So I understand why people like a longer one. I understand why people like a shorter one. You know, you do you. Everybody likes what they like.
Yeah, I think MW2 is a tiny bit fast. I'm trying to think of
Just a little.
I'm thinking of one I like. Yeah, Pierce Sam 2042 isn't bad. Thanks, Buff. Thanks for stopping in, man. Thanks for letting us crash your channel, dude. Appreciate it.
Buff.
Good luck with everything. Godspeed. So yeah, I don't think it's too bad in 2042, and I really liked Battlefield 5's Time to Kill.
Yeah,
definitely a tiny bit slower. It's like kind of halfway between Modern Warfare 2 and like Black Ops 4 was crazy. It was like crazy high. So like somewhere in the middle was pretty good. Yeah, Cold War wasn't bad.
Blackout TTK was really good to me after they tweaked level 3 armor. Like everything got pretty balanced there, and I enjoyed it. And it was on the longer side, and I think I played that so much that I just really, really liked that. But I know you probably didn't play too much Blackout.
I did, so yeah.
Yeah.
I was kind of team PUBG back then. But I did play a fair amount of Blackout.
Yeah. Level 3 armor in Blackout was like the most overpowered thing.
I remember that
like you
sound.
were a freaking juggernaut, man. Ting, 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 ting,
Yeah,
ting,
it was
ting,
like
ting.
ping,
You could
ping,
just
ping,
take
ping,
a
ping, ping,
freaking
ping,
clip
ping.
and still have armor when you got out of there.
I remember that sound. Yeah, that was frustrating. But yeah, so no, guys, I think that's probably a show. Appreciate everyone being here.
Amore.
See, that's why he's a country
stream.
That's why he's
before you leave.
Multi-platinum.
I'm going to keep interrupting
artist.
Crash.
Is that fun for you?
Until he ends it.
You enjoy that?
I'm done.
The whole time?
I'm done. The whole time. Shut up.
Shut your mouth, dude. I'll mute you. I can.
Gosh, don't do it.
I can do it. I have the power. But anyway, guys, yeah. Thank you guys for being flexible. I really appreciate it. I'm hopefully going to have a couple videos out on my channel early in the week, and then like I said, I'm gonna be Serpentine is annoying. I'm gonna be out in the middle of BFE for a while. No internet, no phone, no nothing, and then hopefully we'll be back. I have to try to figure out what happened while I was unplugged, and then we'll do another episode on look for us Tuesday, October 11th. And yeah, as always, stay tuned to me and Buff's Twitter and my Discord and stuff to let you guys know. Sorry about today. We just had some stuff come up. Buff was busy, so we ran an episode again. I want to bring you guys. I want to bring you guys something every week. Make sure we do something. Get some content out there. Do an episode. I always appreciated it when the shows that I listen to get stuff done. So yep, I will be. It's gonna be way off the grid. Like nothing. I need to get a satellite phone. Nope. I'm just gonna unplug.
Unplug, Crash.
I'm gonna be
Let
out
it
there.
go.
All right. We'll see how it goes. See
Okay.
how long I last.
Yep.
Time hiking up to the top of the mountain to try to get something to watch. But anyway, thank you guys for being here. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for being flexible with all the changes. And we look to see you guys October 11th. Bye.
Bye, everybody. I'll be back when Buff's not here.
Sounds good.
Bye.
Bye.